Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you my vegan chocolate cake. This is actually from Crumbs Doilies CupcakeJemma, so please do check her video out. This is in no way my recipe. I'm just making some dairy-free buttermilk here, just with soy milk and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm just going to leave that on the side just to kind of thicken up. And then I'm just weighing up some butter and some caster sugar. I've actually used Flora plant-based butter, which I find is really good for making cakes with. And then some vanilla. I'll leave all the details in the description box, and I'll also link her recipe here as well, so you can check that out. So mix it all up, and as you will see, it's really nice and soft and silky like normal butter and sugar would be. And now I'm just going to measure out my dry ingredients. So I've just got my flour, cocoa powder, and then baking powder and baking soda or bicarbonate of soda as well. And then I'm just going to sieve all of this together until it's fully soft and there are no lumps in it. So now I have my buttermilk mixture and my dry ingredients. I'm going to bring back my butter and sugar, and I'm going to alternate these, adding them little by little and completely combining them until they're fully combined. You really want to end with the dry ingredients because that just gives you the best texture for cake possible. I haven't done this in this because I did forget, and the cake has still turned out really well, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but that is what CupcakeJemma recommends, so listen to the pros. It does look a little bit like chocolate mousse, and that's completely normal. It's just because it's a vegan cake, so just go with it. You have not done it wrong, don't worry. And now I'm just measuring out my cake tins. I kind of did this by eye this time, so I've just roughly done it, and then I've just measured them on the scales to make sure they're a similar weight. And then once I realise they are, I'm just smoothing them out with my cranked palette knife until they're completely flat, and then putting them in the oven. So I decided to make a chocolate ganache with the Galaxy vegan range. I've just used their chocolate orange one because it looks so yum. So at the minute I'm just mixing up some coconut cream so it's got no lumps in it, and then I'm just popping it in the microwave to heat up. And whilst that's heating up, I'm just crushing my chocolate. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to pour over my hot coconut cream and leave it to one side just to settle for about 5 minutes. And then while that's doing that, I'm just going to start my icing. So I'm just popping in some butter in here, and then I'm using this, which is vegetable shortening. This is really good because it kind of gives your buttercream like the texture of real buttercream, and it goes hard, and it sets a lot firmer. So this is my ganache done, so I'm just going to cover this up and pop it in the fridge before I carry on with this. So I'm just going to mix these together until they go really pale and fluffy. This takes about 5 minutes, but look at that. Doesn't that look so smooth and silky? Oh, it's a dream. So I'm just going to sift in all my icing sugar, half and half, and then I like to fold it in to begin with rather than like whisk it straight away, because otherwise the icing sugar goes everywhere. So I just fold it in and then give it a whisk up, and I'm just going to repeat that again with the second half. Once that's done, I'm just adding some vanilla extract and then popping in some soy milk just to loosen it a little bit. And then that's done and silky smooth. Yummy. Okay, so obviously this is going to be chocolate buttercream. So I'm just melting some dark chocolate chips. And then this will be added to my buttercream. So this is all done now, all melted, so I'm just going to stream this in and then give it a mix up. Look how silky and yummy that looks. And it's completely vegan. So insane. So I'm just going to cover this up and put it in the fridge. So now it's time to stack my cake, and you will see from this how crumbly these cakes are. They are really hard, as you look, falling apart. So you've really got to be careful when you're stacking this, like really be gentle with it. I'm quite heavy-handed, so I found this quite hard, but it's fine. If you're strategic, you can just patch it together as you ice it, and no one will ever know, except now a lot of people will know because I'm posting on YouTube. So I've kept this bit fully in because I wanted you to see how hard it actually is to crumb coat this cake. But that is the point of a crumb coat. So if you find this as hard as I am, do not fear, because the whole point of this coat is that you're locking all the crumbs in so that when you next do your coat, you don't have any crumbs in it. So really give this a really good coat, lather it in as much as you can, and then just take it all off. And look, I literally needed to patch out there because a chunk fell out. So that goes in the fridge for literally an hour at least, so that it's completely firm. So when you do this final coat, it actually does not move, it's pretty easy, and it just goes on pretty smoothly. So that is the goal. So here I'm just putting on tons and tons of buttercream, and then I'm just scraping it off with the cake scraper. But as you can see, I still managed to knock it, so it's still got clumps in it. So once that's done, just pop it back in the fridge, and then I'm just putting on my ganache now. Josh walked in the middle of this and started talking to me, and I was like, okay, I need to stop straight away because this takes too much focus to talk to you at the same time. So yeah, just putting it all on the top and spreading it out. And then I'm just putting on some little star nozzle piping just on the top, just because it looks quite pretty. But thankfully I was able to take these off and redo them, because some of them I was not happy with, but they scooped off really easily and I could just redo them. So yeah, I was really happy with that. So there it is, the finished vegan chocolate cake. I'm really happy with this. So if you make this, please tag me on Instagram at Mrs. Lauren Oliver. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.